hi there. I didn't quite see you there, I'm sorry. Me? Oh, I'm Cole. I'm one of the instructors here at the Arizona Science Center's Camp Innovation. And you actually caught me on my lunch break. I'm really excited because I finally get to get away from everybody else. I get to safe socially distance, take off my mask, and enjoy this apple I brought from home. And I was about to take a big old bite of this apple when a thought struck me. How do astronauts enjoy their apples? Do they make apple pie and then use the sun's rays to cook it? Do they make like a special secret astronaut space applesauce? I got to thinking about that a little bit more, and then I did some research into it. But before I can share what I found, we need to talk about weight. Because you see, building a rocket is an incredibly costly process. It costs millions of dollars between all the work hours between the engineers and the scientists who design and build the rocket, finding the rocket fuel and paying for that, because rocket fuel is pretty pricey as well, and then making sure everything goes smoothly on the day of the launch. Millions and millions of dollars get spent on each and every mission. An apple weighing a pound would cost $10,000 to send into space on a rocket due to all those work and production costs, and then also the very limited amount of space on these rockets and what they're trying to bring up into space. So, astronauts and scientists have found a way to kind of circumvent that. They do it through a process called dehydration, using a machine quite like this one. Now, when you hydrate something, you're giving it water. You can hydrate yourself after a very long day of exercising or like playing and going outside, especially during the Arizona summer. Highly suggest you hydrate very often. You can hydrate your plants to make sure they're doing nice and healthy and they're growing big and strong. You can hydrate your pet, because pets need hydration too. But to dehydrate means to take away water. So what we're doing here with this device, this dehydrator, is we are dehydrating fruit. So they go from this big looking full apple to this little shriveled up thing right here. Now you might be thinking, why dehydrate it? What's the purpose of taking out all that water? Well, fruit have very high levels and percentages of water. An apple, for example, is about 85% water. So, when we take out the majority of that water, we lose not only 85% of the water, we lose 85% of the weight, leaving behind these nice little slices right here that they're good, just require a little bit of extra chewing. Now, this is something you can do at home too, and you don't just have to do apples. You can experiment with a ton of different fruit. I've done it with bananas. I've tried mangoes before. Very delicious. My roommate had lychees, and we tried that last night. Very, very fun times. You also don't just need a dehydrator. If you have an oven at home that you and your parents are okay with using for an extended period of time, you can dehydrate your own fruit just using that. There's a ton of recipes online that I suggest you go and check out and see if you can try some astronaut food of your very own. Now the question remains, okay, so we have these dehydrated fruits that are now broken down. They're a lot lighter. We can fit more of them onto a ship. What about food that needs to be hydrated? Food that, stuff like soup and other like complex meals that astronauts might enjoy. Well, on the ISS, for example, they use a very complicated and complex water filtration system. You see, back in the day, before they had this system, they would have to launch super big, heavy bags full of water on refueling trips to the ISS in order to make sure that they had enough water. That's a very, very wasteful process between taking up a ton of space and weight on the rocket ship and then even more space in the actual International Space Station itself. So what they've developed is this complex water filtration system that basically recycles up to 93% of the water that's used on the ISS. Pretty impressive, right? Now, the way they do this is by really just scrounging up as much water as they possibly can. Now that means whenever they use a shower, all the water that gets used in that shower goes back into the system and it gets cleaned out and everything. Grossly enough, they also recycle waste products from the human body, namely pee, which sounds super disgusting, and I am right there with you, my friends. But according to a few astronauts, the only difficult thing about it is getting over the fact that when you're drinking might have been pee at some point. In fact, some of the water that gets filtered up on the ISS is cleaner than water down here on Earth that we have in our cities. That's how incredibly scientifically advanced those processes are. And so the reason I'm talking about all this is because this week we are doing our Surviving in Space camp. We're talking all about how astronauts survive in space, talking about how they grow plants in space using hydroponics. Let's see, what else do we do today, for example? Today we built our very own rockets and we launched them off in our classrooms and whatnot. Very fun time. So if you want to keep learning about some fun space facts, keep watching these videos every day at 12:30. Every weekday, I should say, my apologies. And along with that, if you would like to learn some more fun science activities that you can do at home, check out our website, azscience.com. We have a ton of fun DIYs up there that you can enjoy yourselves. Other than that, my friends, as always, thank you for tuning in. Have a great day. Wear a mask and wash your hands, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.